So now we're going to do the variance and standard deviation for grouped data. The formula we use, we're going to always assume for class purposes anyway, that it's going to be a sample. And it's very similar to the original one. In fact, it really is. So let's write that down. N times the sum of the frequency times the midpoint squared minus the sum of the frequency times the midpoint, the total squared, all over n times n minus 1. Now, if you thought of this as ungrouped data, because we were estimating our data points with these midpoints, notice that really we're doing the same formula. It's just that there's one of these and 4 of those and 5 of those. So really the F is just that repetition of addition. Okay, so really there's 3 numbers here. There's n, there's this sum, and there's that sum. So we need to figure out those 3 numbers, and we just have to plug it in. Alright, so n, that's the sum of the frequencies. 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2, which is 12. And now let's do this one first, because we did something like this when we did the mean. This is the frequency 1 times 22, which I really didn't need the 1. I mean, we'll multiply by 1 after all. 4 times 27 plus 5 times 32 plus 2 times 37. All right, and now let's put this in our calculator. Okay, so we have our calculator here, and let's move this up so we can see it. 22, right? I don't need the 1. Oops, plus 4 times 27 plus 5 times 32 plus 2 times 37. I think we got that all in right now. I get 364. Okay, so now let's do the sum of the midpoint squared. So we have 1, 22 squared plus 4, 27 squared plus 5, 32 squared plus 2, 37 squared. Alright, again, let's just plug that in our calculator. So we get 22 squared plus, bring it down, look at it, 4 times 27 squared plus 5 times 32 squared plus 2 times 37 squared, and we get 11,258. Okay, so now at this point we just have to take this formula we have here and plug the 3 numbers in. So our standard deviation, our variance, we'll get the standard deviation in a second, is 12 times 11,258 minus 364 squared, all over 12 times 11. Okay, so let's plug all that in our calculator. So we get parentheses because we want the numerator to be done before we divide by the denominator. 11,258 minus 364 squared, parentheses, divided by 11 times 12. I mean, you could do that in your head. It's 132. Okay, rounding rule is 1 more than the data. Since it's 6, 9, we'll go 7. Now we have our variance. Okay, so now standard deviation is just the square root of that number. Alright, so we get square root 19.7, 4.4. And there we go, standard deviation and variance of grouped data.